Despite all of the amazing advancements that there's been in film and film tech, there's still some stuff that I really wish existed. So in this video, I'm gonna share some ideas that I have for gear, pieces of film tech that I wish someone will create in the future. And maybe if you're a manufacturer watching this, you will take inspiration and I will make you a millionaire. A Flowtech style mini tripod. I'm sure a few of you have seen the fancy Satchler Flowtech tripod that has all of the holders. So you don't have to constantly like lock 3 different sections of the tripod and then, you know, extend it. And then when you want to lift it up, you have to lift it up. And then sometimes you got to like hold the leg down really annoyingly because it's so stiff. Flowtech tripod is such an incredible invention that I wish I was using 10 years ago when I first started filmmaking. Yeah, this technology seems like it's slowly coming into more tripods that are coming out on the market soon, or they've already just come out. But all of these tripods are pretty massive. And I would just love for a company like, for example, Peak Design to make a really small, compact travel tripod or just a small mini tripod that has this Flowtech style mechanism. So we don't ever have to bend over lower sections of a tripod leg anymore. So yeah, please manufacturers, get on that, invent it. I would buy it in a heartbeat. Onto some more camera stuff. The Sony a7S III is an amazing camera. As we all know, I'm using one right now. But when the FX3 came out, which is basically the same camera, but just in a nice like cinema body, I initially was really excited about potentially upgrading, but I decided not to just because there's not really any major features that would warrant me putting the time into, you know, listing my camera, selling it, and possibly paying a bit more money to upgrade it to the FX3. But the one feature that if it did have would have ended up making me upgrade very quickly would have been a built-in ND. I know some Blackmagic cameras have this now, but the days should be gone unless we're working on a film set, you know, and we have time to put in NDs into the matte box. When we're using a vlog camera or any kind of camera, why can't all cameras just have a built-in ND? I'm just sick of screwing in ND filters on the lens to stop down the light when I'm shooting in bright daylight. So please, all manufacturers, Sony, I'm looking at you for your FX3 Mark II or your A7S IV. Please put a built-in ND. Like that is the one thing that I feel is really missing from the Sony line of cameras that would make me very quickly upgrade to whatever the model that has that within the camera. And another thing that they should have implemented already is why can't we monitor the sound from the audio that we're picking up within our Sony cameras via Bluetooth? Like, I get it, there's some shoots where you don't want to have Bluetooth because there might be some interference. You can obviously like hear a lag of some kind, but I've done loads of shoots where it's a bit more run and gun, a bit documentary style, and I just want to know that I'm actually getting audio and that the mic hasn't like fallen down from my talon. I just want to know I'm actually getting sound. You know, headphones here and then a cable running to the camera. Just an extra thing that gets in the way when I just, you know, I want to be holding the camera and I want to feel free. I don't want to have a tether that goes from the camera to my head/headphones. I've been having a look to try and find a dongle where, you know, you could connect it and then it would give you the Bluetooth capability, but you can't. So yeah, it's annoying. Like, even a games console like the Nintendo Switch took, what, 4 years before they integrated, not even integrated, they unlocked the feature of like, oh, you can now use Bluetooth headphones now. We've had it all this time, but we just like activated it. Come on, Sony, just activate the ability to monitor via Bluetooth. It would just make things a lot nicer in certain situations. Wireless timecode sync. Now, for those of you who don't know, timecode is probably the best way to sync up multiple cameras that is actually available. You've probably used auto syncing software where it reads the waveform and then it can connect, you know, multiple cameras up by reading the waveform and matching it. But, you know, sometimes if your cameras are really far away from each other, they haven't got the same audio signal, you can't rely on syncing that way. But timecode is basically a clock that is running within your camera. All cameras actually have timecode, like a clock that is within them, that infinitely runs. Even if your camera is off, there's just a constant clock that is running within them. And in order to sync up multiple cameras, you usually have to use something like a tentacle sync where you just plug in this thing into a camera and then the left channel is this kind of weird internet dial-up-y kind of sound. That is the timecode sync. And then the other channel is, you know, the audio that you're going to be recording of dialogue or whatever it might be. But I just wish there was some sort of protocol or some new feature where you have multiple Sony cameras and then it's just some sort of like common language where they all talk to each other wirelessly and they all keep the timecode on track amongst each of the cameras, which means come editing time, you can put all of your files into, let's say, DaVinci, hit timecode sync, and then boop, straight away, all of these angles are just lined up perfectly because they've been running on the same timecode clock. If you happen to know a way to do this already with Sony cameras that for some reason I missed, let me know in the comments below. But as far as I'm aware there is no way to do this, and at least to do it pretty accurately over a long period of time. So yeah, Sony, all camera manufacturers, let's all work collaboratively together and figure out a solution to timecode, because once you try timecode once, you'll wish you could use it all the time. This next one involves this little dusty person. What I would love for gimbals to have, and it's probably going to cause more problems than it would solve, hence why no one's done it yet. I wish there was some sort of universal electronic mount at the bottom of a camera that talks to things. So for instance, with a gimbal like this, if you want to electronically control elements of the camera, you can either hardwire a plug from the camera into the gimbal, and then, you know, you can rack focus, you can control different elements of the camera, or you can do it via Bluetooth. But it would be cool if you didn't have to mess around going into the settings like this. It would be cool if you could just mount the camera here, and then it has some sort of electronic communication device underneath it. And as soon as you mount it, it's like, boop, gimbal and camera are one thing. They're in harmony, they're talking to each other. And then you could literally start, you know, like messing around, controlling settings directly from the camera, and then you take it off, and then that connection disappears again. And then you can mount that camera on maybe a tripod, for example, and then somehow electronically it can talk to it. I don't know how useful that would be with a tripod. Maybe there is some use case for it. But yeah, just some sort of universal system where the camera itself can talk to the gimbal without having to connect wirelessly, connect a cable. But yeah, I guess the argument behind that is if you damage those mounts under the camera, then you're and you can't use it. Hence why the Hotshoe on the top of an A7S III, you know, has a little cover if you're not using it to stop you damaging the electronic point. So yeah, it's wishful thinking, this little upgrade. But yeah, I just wish that accessories would talk to cameras more. Like, I have a small HD monitor on top of my camera right now, and the annoying thing is that why can't I just touch the screen and choose the settings? Like, I wish there was a way that I could control all the settings from the screen, the menu and everything, but I can't do that at all. And it kind of is annoying that I have to rely on, you know, the small screen and the buttons on the camera for certain things when I have a massive touch screen at the top of my camera that should fulfill that purpose for me. My next upgrade requests involves these little guys here, the DJI Mic Mark 1. These mics are absolutely amazing. You know, the fact that you can just clip it straight away on here, and then you have audio. That sounds really, really good. The technology is getting better and better. Things are getting smaller and smaller. The one little drawback with these that I wish it would have is that this thing here that you actually attach to the top of the camera, or you can attach it wherever you want. And then this is the thing that, you know, hardwires the wireless signal directly into your camera's file that you're recording. You have to use a cable in order to then connect it into the mic slot of the camera. And then this goes on here like that. So, you know, it's fine, but it's just a dumb solution considering that this Sony camera, this A7S III, has a Hotshoe with electronic things on it. So why don't you just make this thing that goes on the Hotshoe electronic? Make it so it can talk to it, which would mean that all I'd have to do if I want to use it is I'm like, okay, I want to use it. I want to make sure the files go into the camera. It's a bit hard. Done. And then it's like connected straight away. And then I can throw away this cable, right? I think DJI are going to make another version of this mic. Probably might even be out by the time you watch this video. So yeah, that's like, it would just be such a nice little clean setup. And honestly, with what Rode are doing with their upgrades to their, you know, wireless Go mics, this little change to the way that the receiver works would make DJI ahead of the pack a little bit in certain ways. And it probably would make me stick with them over Rhodes, just to have this really elegant, clean solution. Yeah, it just looks so nice. So much nicer like that. Just hold it and then you don't have to have an annoying cable connected, sticking out and catching on things. Next one is lighting related. Softboxes. When I first used a softbox, probably like 2013, 2012, when I was at film school, it was a pain in the ass. You had to put the rods in individually. It took God knows how long, at least a minute or two to do it. And then now softboxes are way faster. Like the Aputure Light Dome 2s, amazing. It's already clipped in, you clip them. And I know that Aputure have already released a Mark III that I don't have. That is supposed to be a lot quicker to open up the softbox and collapse it. But it would be nice if there was just some sort of like mechanism where you don't even have to do anything. You just take the softbox out of the bag and you just go boop, and then it goes, and then it opens. I guess you might like, there could be some health problems with it that you could just press it and then it goes, and then it like hits your actor who's walking by. There's got to be some system where it's just like a one button thing, really easy, and you can just pop it open, and a safety mechanism to ensure that you don't like knock out any actors or crew passing by as you press it. We're in software now, so something that I've wanted to have for a long time is some desktop app for Sidus Link. Sidus Link is the app that I'm controlling everything that's lighting me right now. So you know. And yeah, the fact that you can individually control so many elements with Aputure Light specifically is such an amazing software upgrade to lighting that I can't imagine not having my lights work on the system. But honestly, using the phone is, you know, it's really good, but I don't want to always control lights from my phone. Right now I'm using my laptop to work off my Notion scripts for this video, and I just love also for there to be a Sidus desktop app so that I know I could control all of my lighting on my laptop, my notes, and everything is just contained in there, and my phone just remains as a phone and nothing else. It'd also be really cool for this, you know, Sidus desktop app to have some sort of integration with, you know, DMX and lighting effects, because it'd be cool if I could practice DJing and have some sort of trigger system where I could trigger lights in time with the music, you know, to do like a cool DJ lighting production at home. That would be pretty cool. Come on, Aputure, please make some sort of advanced desktop Sidus system, because you have so many amazing lights for filmmakers, so many cool tube lights and RGB lights for parties and, you know, for live just performances for DJs and other things. So just give us a really cool feature-rich desktop app so that we can put to use all of these lights and effects and triggers and all this cool that you can do with the iPad and the phone app, but on a bigger screen. More software now. A few of you might know ShotDeck. I made a video about ShotDeck like many videos ago, and it's amazing because you can find hundreds of thousands of stills, images from movies, commercials that you can have for references. So, you know, if you're shooting a music video and you want to shoot in the woods at night with 2 characters, all of these things you can really easily key for, and then you can show that reference to your crew and they have a much more clear idea of what you actually want to capture when you get on set. But I wish there was also a website that didn't just show images, but also showed video effects, right? So transitions, hand-drawn squiggle styles that you can do, just different editing, visual, camera, transitions, things like this that could be collated into a website. A way for you to like figure out, how can I make this music video more interesting? I know I want to shoot in these locations, you know, you can use ShotDeck to give you ideas of how you would frame that. But you also want to know like how you would edit it, what effects, overlays, stuff that you can do with your camera that would make the scene look cool, grading styles, all these things. It would be amazing to have a website where you could search for these just to have a library of inspiration to draw from. Because before in the past, a lot of times I would just go on, you know, like IMVDB, watch music videos, try and find references from just watching videos. But it would be amazing if someone just curated like, here's this really cool transition from this music video, and then just it's like a really cool transition page. But maybe one day I can build it. I know it would take a lot of time. If someone else can do it before me, and I would be very happy with that. If you want to know what the best video editing app is, check out this video right here. Hit the subscribe button here, because if you do, I'm gonna give you a free Arri Alexa. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Can't even afford one for myself. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.